Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our live Forever in Motion class. My name is Kereen, and I'm one of the rec therapists with the Community Older Adult team, and I will be leading your Forever in Motion class today. So what you're going to need for today is your tubing or TheraBand, as always, a sturdy chair, good pair of running shoes, and your drink of water. Make sure that we stay well hydrated during any workout. We're just going to start off with a march here, and I'll continue on with a few more instructions. So always remember to work at your own pace. If at any point you're feeling pain, discomfort, or feeling like you're overexerting yourself, make sure that you stop, slow down, or adapt whatever you're doing. We always want it to be a safe class. Posture, those shoulders should be back and down. Your core is engaged, so you're bracing your stomach nice and tight as though someone's going to punch you in the stomach. You're either standing up nice and tall or sitting up nice and tall. Most of the exercises can be done either standing or seated. I will show you both options. As far as the chair, we recommend that the chair is in front of you at all times. It's there to support you in case you need to grab on. You'll lose your balance, so I'm just going to show you for a second here. Option one would be you are hanging on with both hands. Option two, maybe it's just fingertips or one hand. And option three, that chair is just there in case you lose your balance. Everybody loses their balance from time to time, so it's there if you need it. Or you are sitting on it and doing the seated versions. So just continuing on here, take the legs wide. And let's just do a punch across. Crossing that midline, getting our brain woken up here. And we are just warming up, so don't worry about going too fast or lifting the legs too high quite yet. And remember to grab a drink of water anytime you need. You don't need to wait for me to tell you it's time for a drink. Okay, let's alternate the legs wide, wide, narrow, narrow. So it's wide, wide, narrow, narrow, wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Keep going with that. Keep the arms moving nice and big. We want to warm up upper body and lower body. Once you get warmed up a little bit, if you want to add a little bit of intensity to these, you can take it down a little bit lower. Okay, now I'll get you to take note of which leg you are initiating the movement with. Are you starting with your left or your right? I'm looking at which one I'm tapping on as I'm saying it. Okay, so I'm going out first with my right. So I am going to tap down and then switch. So now I am starting out with my left leg. You always want to make sure that you, at some point, if you're starting with one leg or the other, or even with the hands, you want to make sure that you switch at some point, just so that you're more balanced. And again, feel free to take that down a little bit lower. Whatever works for you. Let's keep the legs wide. Of course, it's the exact same thing if you're doing it seated. Nothing different there quite yet. You can start to lift those knees a little bit higher if you're starting to feel a little bit warmed up. How about, I'm gonna watch out for my lights here. I tried to add some extra lamps, some extra lighting. Let's do a breaststroke, but instead of the usual with the, and bring the legs in, let's try. Instead of the usual with your palms out, breaststroke, again I'm trying to dodge my lamp here, Try with palms in, and it's the back of your hand that's going out. Just kind of opening up that chest. Okay, nice big shoulder rolls. Okay, and just a regular march. I am going to grab a drink of water. Feel free to do the same. Make sure you keep those legs moving. I think we probably got those heart rates elevated some so far. All right. Now let's just go into a low kick across the midline. So this is working our adductor muscles, the insides of our thighs. We can just swing the arms low with that. Three, two, and last one, and back to a regular march. And how about we take that to a side step? So stepping to the side, and then back. Step together. Take the arms in and out. Remember, whatever speed works for you. Do you notice I'm kind of sneaking back? I'm trying to give myself more room on the screen. Okay, so now we're going to take that to, we were doing a single side step, let's take it to two. So side step and then another one. Step together, step together, step together, step together. Okay, now I'm really gonna have to dodge that lamp with my arms. Okay, how about we kind of combine the two now. We'll do a step together, and then when you step together the second time, kick out. So step together, step, kick. Step together, step, kick. You can keep the arms going. Whoa, I crossed over. I guess we could, if we wanted to, make it more of a brain thing. So we are stepping together and then crossing in behind and then step back and then kick out. Your choice. That's an option. It's your class. Do what works for you, right? If you're finding it too complicated or not complicated enough, I gotta watch out behind me too. Feel free to switch things up. Oh, and there I crossed in the front again. Okay, let's just go back to a regular march. Doing okay so far? How about, next up, we take this into a heel dig. So heel down, toe pointing up, and let's do bicep curls with it. Both arms same time. See how high you can point the toe up towards the ceiling. And taking it to single arm, same side, same arm, same leg, in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Same arm, same leg. And we are going to switch that up a little bit and go to opposite in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go to opposite. Get that opposite arm on leg up. And just back to a regular march in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Regular march. Grab a drink of water. All right, for this one, let's just tap in behind and across. So crossing that midline again. And let's take the arms in and out. So I've been trying to dream up some different combinations, different things to do with you again. And so what I dreamt up this time is, how about we combine these two? So we will combine this with the heel dig, and we'll take it back to just a regular march in 4, 3, 2, last 1, back to the regular march. And all right, you ready for this? Let's see if I can challenge my brain with this one. We're going to start out by doing 4 of each, and then we'll take it down to 2. All right, so bicep curl, and let's see. Let's do reciprocal arms. So bicep curl, one arm is up and one is down. This doesn't really work with the legs, does it? Let's do both arms. That's funny. I never thought about that one. That's what I get for thinking on the spot. Sometimes it doesn't work. Okay, so 4, 3, 2, last 1. Let's tap behind. 2, 3, 4. Back to the bicep curl, heel dig. 2, 3, 4. Tap behind. So far, so good. I shouldn't say that, because then I'm going to screw up. And there, I think I did. Oh well, that allowed me to switch legs. So we'll just pretend I did that on purpose. And same with what I said earlier, that if we're taking this lower, you can increase the intensity of it. Okay, let's do 2 here, and then 2 tapping behind. And how about 2 of each? Last one here. Back to a march. There we go. Okay. And just to kind of slow it down a little bit, bring it back down. Your heart rate, I'm hoping, is elevated somewhat, and that you're breathing a little bit heavier. You got a little bit of cardio out of the deal. And so it's that time where we're going to start bringing it down a bit so we can get into our strength training. So let's go back to that double side step. So step together, step and kick, step together, step and kick. Slowing it down here. How about we just take it to a step together? Swing the arms nice and low. And single step together. Let's do opposite arms, opposite legs. Should we switch it up? Let's do same arm. Arms and legs, same side. And we'll just take that back to just a low kick in 4, 3, 2, and last one. Just a low kick. And 4, 3, 2, last one. Back to just a regular low march and grab a drink of water. Keep the legs moving. We'll move into our strength training. So if you don't already have your band nearby, you can grab that now. All right, starting off with a back squeeze. So grab onto your band. Your feet, you want your feet about shoulder width apart. And a slight bend to your knees. Core is engaged as always. And you're hanging onto that band so that your index fingers are fairly close or maybe even touching. About chest height, and take a breath in. And exhale as we pull apart and release. Nice, slow and controlled. Squeeze those shoulder blades together as you're pulling back. Think about squeezing a tennis ball between those shoulder blades. Maybe an orange, you're squeezing some orange juice. We like to try and think of visuals so that we can think of how these exercises should feel, so that we know we are targeting the right muscles. Still exhaling on the exertion when you're pulling apart. Slow and controlled, same speed, both directions. So you're working your muscles both directions. And let's go for 2 more. And last one. Nice. Shake that out a little bit, give the shoulders a little bit of a roll. All right, let's go for chest fly. I'm going to move my chair more into the picture for this one because I want to show you something with the chair too. Okay, so for chest fly, of course you can do it standing or seated. Make sure that you are hanging onto it so that you've got good resistance on the band when your arms are extended. Stick back a little bit here. And so your arms are out to the side, slight bend to your elbows. You never want to lock any of the joints. You got that same position with your legs, feet about shoulder width apart, slight bend to your knees, arms up to the side, and you're just bringing in. And think about squeezing, focus on squeezing those chest muscles together as you're bringing it in. So it's taking a breath in and exhale as you're bringing the arms in together. So exhaling on the work. Okay, so a couple ways if you want to make this a little bit tougher. I'm just going to take a quick peek up here. Okay, so a couple ways if you want to make it tougher, you can double up your band and then do it that way. I like that. Gives more resistance, a little more challenge. Challenge is good as long as you're doing it safely. Once you challenge yourself, that's when you're going to see improvement. Okay, so that is one way of increasing the challenge. Another way would be when you're doing it seated, of actually putting the band behind the back of the chair and doing it that way. So those are some of your options. I just heard that rolling up behind me. I'm gonna get a smack in the back of my head. That's not a good thing. Almost I deserve it, and I don't think I deserve it quite yet this morning. So make sure your chair is going to cooperate with you for this, and your equipment as far as band or tubing, so that it doesn't come up and smack you on the back of the head. All right, so that is the chest fly. So the next one I'm going to do for our back, because we want to do a 2-to-1 ratio as far as back and chest go. So I am going to do the paddler's row. So sitting on the front part of your chair, you're sitting up nice and tall. Loop that band or tubing, whatever you're using, under your feet. Kind of point your toes a little bit so it doesn't smack up from there, roll up and smack you in the face. And instead of what we do for the back row, pulling the arms, bending the arms and pulling it back, we're starting in the same position with your arms extended and resistance in the band when your arms are extended. But we are going to keep the arms straight, pull back until it's in line with your body, and then just give a little more of a push. But we're doing this in one smooth motion. So take a breath in and exhale. You are looking forward. I'm kind of looking sideways at you so I can see how I'm looking in the picture here for your view, to make sure that it's looking okay for you, that you want to be looking straight ahead. Okay? And a slight bend to your knees. You don't even want to lock your knees when you're in this position either. Like I said, never locking any of your joints. Exhale. Core is engaged. You're sitting up nice and tall. If you've had enough, feel free to stop. As always, stop. Listen to your body and stop when you've had enough. When you're feeling that the last 1 or 2 are tough, then that's enough. I'm going to do a couple more here. Like I said, always listen to your body with all the different exercises that we're doing. Okay, that's enough for that one. I'm going to turn my chair around here and go into the upright row. You can do it standing or seated. I am going to just show you the seated version here first. So standing on your band, this is just kind of the way that I like to do it. Take that band, cross it over in front of you, and then grab on both hands, and you're just kind of pivoting forward just slightly, and bring those arms up so that your hands are about the base of your chest, maybe kind of where your armpits would almost be. Not where they would be, where they are. And back down. One of the things, there are a couple of things you want to keep in mind here. You don't want to raise the elbows higher than your shoulders, and you want to make sure that your wrists are lower than your elbows. And also just kind of take a peek at your wrists every once in a while and make sure that they're in good alignment. For all the exercises, again, like I said before, so many of the things that we say apply to all the exercises. So same thing with the wrists. Make sure that your wrists are always in good alignment, because if you are doing exercises and your wrists are kind of out of whack, whether it's doggy paw or whether it's extended the other way, you are likely at some point going to end up getting sore wrists out of the deal. And we don't want that. So this is seated, exact same thing if you're doing it standing. Bend those knees slightly. Make sure that you have your shoulders relaxed. You don't want them up at your ears. Okay, keep the shoulders relaxed. And how about 2 more? And last one. All right. Kind of give those shoulders a little bit of a shake. And move my chair to the side a little bit. And let's go for a bicep curl. So stepping onto that band. And the one I picked for today is hammer hold. So it's just kind of like your band is there and then you grab on. All right, so your palm is facing in towards you. Make sure you have resistance on the band when your arms are extended. Core is still engaged, shoulders are down and relaxed and back. And take a breath in and exhale. Oh, here's something that I did accidentally, but it was actually something that I wanted to share with you today. Because it's good to sometimes work out with things that aren't the same weight or the same resistance. So my example for that would be if you are going for groceries, how often do you get your bags of groceries the exact same weight in both bags? Probably hardly ever. So it is good to do exercises that make you kind of experience that inequity in weight, that imbalance. And so then it gives you, your body has to work harder to stabilize, to compensate for that. So I've got my left side, I'm getting a little bit more resistance, and my right side, less resistance. I'm still sticking with that hammer hold, but now I can feel that my body is having to stabilize. It's working a little bit harder to stabilize for that inequity. And this is one of those things that if you practice every once in a while ahead of time, then when it comes to actually having to do it in real life, you can handle it. You got it. A lot easier than otherwise. Okay, so we've done a whole whack of bicep curls already. Before we switch with the bicep curls, let's give that switch which side has got the lesser of the resistance. Okay, so now I'm going to give my right side more resistance. Okay, what do you think of that? I kind of like that. Definitely does feel different. And we'll do just a few more here before we end up doing the whole class just bicep curls. And last two. And last one. There we go. All right, stepping off that band. And and going straight into our tricep extension. So take it into your right hand, throw it over your left shoulder. That right hand stays right there. With your left hand, grab just slightly below that. You can adjust the tension by how far your hands are apart, the intensity of it. And we're just gonna keep that elbow along your side and just take it straight down today. Exhale on exertion, take a breath in and exhale. And again, we are going the same speed up and down. The extension and the release. Core is still engaged. Slight bend to the knees. And we'll do 2 more. And last one. All right, shake that out a little bit. Take it into your left hand, throw it over your right shoulder. With your right hand, grab on and take that down to the side, keeping that elbow alongside your body. You're keeping it in fairly close. If you want to increase the intensity, I should have done this right away. Double up your band. And we'll just do a few more here. Last 2. And last 1. All right, shake that out. That is it for our bands for today. I will get you to grab onto your chair. And what we're going to do, we are going to start out, I'm going to angle my chair. I kind of like how that looks in the screen here. All right, so you're sitting towards the front of your chair. We are going to do that seated crunch. So towards the front of your chair, and you're sitting up nice and tall, core is engaged, shoulders back and down. Do that chin tuck, and we are going to do that ab crunch. So taking it back, this is level 1. Hands are on your thighs. Take it back as far as you can without touching the back of the chair. So nice, slow, and controlled. For this one, it doesn't really matter whether you are exhaling on the way back or on the way up, because some people find it tougher going back, some find it tougher coming up. The main thing is that you're not holding your breath. So this is one option, hands on your thighs. If you want to bump up the intensity a little bit, take the hands across your chest. That would be another option for you. If you're feeling like you want to bump that up a little bit more, you could take the hands to either side of your head. So fingertips are just kind of behind your ears. You're not pulling on your head. You're still maintaining that nice neutral spine, head, neck, and spine all in good alignment. And for this one, you should be looking to the front, but again, I'm looking off to the side so I can see what I look like in here while I'm talking to you. Okay, and feel free to take that to whichever one. I've shown you the different options. Take it to whichever one works for you. The idea is to make sure that you're maintaining your form, your technique, because if you're going away from that, then you are increasing the risk of injury and not getting as much out of it as what you could. All right, so how about 2 more? My favorite. And last one. And for this one, I didn't mention, but make sure that you're always keeping that chin tucked. You don't want to take your head back with it. That's really hard on the neck. All right, that is that one. Next up, I would like to do the seated walk with you. So this is working your obliques, a very functional move. So what you're doing is you are leaning to the side, shifting your weight to the one side, lift up the hip on the other side, and then actually lift up and back that butt cheek. So same thing here, lift, shifting your weight to the one side, lift up and back, and you're actually moving back. So it's just like you are walking on the chair. So you're all the way at the back now. Do the same thing in reverse. We are going to the front. So a very functional move, especially now that we've had this lovely snowfall and things are a lot more slippery outside. This is very functional. I keep saying the word. If you were to have a fall and couldn't get back up, this is one way, whether you're inside or outside. Doesn't have to be slipping on ice. You can fall inside the house too. In fact, most of the time, that's where it happens. This is what you can do to get yourself to a phone to call for help, or up to a neighbor's house to call for help, or wherever you need to go. This can be a huge lifesaver. So very functional for many reasons. I'm just going to keep going back and forth here a little bit. It's good to practice this every once in a while. Even like getting down on the floor. It's not getting older that makes us lose the ability to get down on the floor or to do stairs. It's the fact that we don't do it often enough. So if you are still able to safely do those things, do them. I encourage you to do them every once in a while, just so that you don't lose the ability to do them. All right, so I kind of fibbed to you a little bit. I told you that we were done with our bands, but this is another one that I kind of came across. I will keep my chair at an angle there. So this is for our forearms and to kind of strengthen your wrists as well. So what I'll get you to do is putting the band under your feet. I want you to just kind of do a loose wrap around your hands. You don't ever want to wrap it tightly around your hands, but loosely. And then, I don't know if you can see it, but I've got it kind of coming out between my middle fingers there, just so that it's more centralized to the middle of my hand, from where so it's not going to be off balanced where the resistance is coming from. Okay, so you're leaning forward, pivoting at the hips. Make sure you still have that neutral spine, your head, neck, and spine all in good alignment. And your arms are on your legs, resting on your legs, just so that your hands are kind of dangling over top. Loose resistance on the band, just slight, just because you don't want to overdo it. Okay, and we're just going to be bringing those. This is the band version of doing the wrist flexion and extension with the dumbbells. So this is the band version of it. So slow and controlled, just going through that full range. Make sure you're not hunching your back, you are pivoting at the hips, maintaining that good posture. And doing this type of thing, strengthening your forearm, will help with your grip strength, which is also a good thing. Helping to open jars, turn doorknobs, things like that. Okay, how about a couple more? And then we are going to switch position with our wrists. So instead of palms down, now the palms are up, and kind of get it so that the end of the band is coming up between your middle fingers. And let's just do that curl up. I don't want you to do the doggy paw all the way down. I want you to just kind of try and have your hands in a neutral position and then bend up. Be very careful with this, that you're not using too much tension on the band. Good exercise, but as with all, you need to be careful that you're doing it whatever is appropriate and safe for you. And we'll just do a couple more here. And want that one more. Okay, shake that out. So there's another new one for you that I dug up, dreamt up, call it what you will. Okay, and so let's go into, you know what, let's grab a drink of water first. And we will go into some leg strengthening exercises. All right, so first I would just like to start, again, I've got my chair beside me. The recommendation, what we advise you to do is have that chair in front of you so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna have it to the side. All right, and this one, just a hip opener. So bring that leg up and out, in and down. Up, out, in, and down. Keep repeating that. Core is engaged. Chair's there if you need it. Same thing if you are doing it seated. Nice to open up, loosen up those hips. The hips are very important in also the hip mobility, very important in helping to prevent falls. We'll do one more each side. All right, just kind of shake that out a little bit. I am going to give myself some more room and move this chair over. All right, and now something a little different with our squat. So let's just start out with just a regular squat. And so you're just kind of leaning back, sitting back, the weight on your heels, and then push up through those heels as you're pressing yourself up. Okay, up. Making sure that you're keeping the knees behind your toes. So it's just like you're going to sit down on a chair and then you changed your mind and you are standing back up. So keep going with the squats there for a second. Seated, what you're going to do is extend, extend, ham curl, extend, extend, ham curl, ham curl. Okay, so keep going with that. By doing that leg extension, the seated leg extension and the ham curl, you're basically working the same muscles. So what we're going to do, we're going to switch up that squat a little bit, and we're going to do a side to side squat kind of thing. Oh, I was going to do something in the beginning. I was going to give you another list to remember for the end of the class. So I'm going to sneak it in now, and we'll still see if you remember it at the end. So my list of things that I want you to remember this time around. Last time I got you to remember some baking items. This time, I wonder why snow is on my mind. I want you to remember shovel, ice melt salt, and gloves. Okay, those three things: shovel, ice melt salt, and gloves. All right, so I will be asking you about that again at the end. See if you remember those things. All right, so for our side to side squat, what we're gonna do is your feet are about shoulder width apart here. Take a step to the side, go down into that squat, and then push up with that outside leg and then back in. Okay, same thing to the other side. Push up and back in. If you prefer to just do the regular squat, by all means, stick with just the regular squat. Make sure you are still keeping the knees behind your toes. not bringing the knees beyond your toes, another way of saying it. Give a nice push with that outside leg. The weight should be in your heels. Okay, a couple more each side. And last one for this side. And last one for this side. There we go. How about just shaking that out a little bit? I can feel that one in my legs. How about you? All right, going into a ham curl. So knees are parallel, very close to each other, and we're just bringing that leg up in the back. You don't want to bend at the hips at all. Think about keeping those knees pasted together. Still with that good posture. Core is engaged. And as with all the leg exercises, the standing leg exercises, the more you slow it down, the more it's going to challenge your balance. Remember that chair is there if you need it. Slow this down as much as what works for you. This is something simple that you can sneak into your day when you're doing different things. This is one that I sometimes sneak in while I'm brushing my teeth, which gives you that extra challenge because your hand is going side to side, which kind of throws you off a little bit more too. But a neat and easy way of sneaking in a little bit of strength and balance into a busy day. How about one more each side? Okay, shake that out. I'm going to grab a drink of water here quickly. And I've got one more that I'd like to do, and that's the toe heel. So up onto your toes, and then down onto your heels, bring the toes up. So I mentioned that hip mobility is really important in preventing falls. So the ankle mobility is just as important. So you want to make sure you maintain good ankle mobility and the ability to raise your toes. Also helps to prevent shuffling. This is another one. The more you slow it down, whoa, where's the wall? Doing it with the wall behind you is really good because then you're not having to worry about falling backwards. That wall is right there to catch you if you need. Giving yourself, it kind of allows you, or grabbing onto your chair, allows you to give yourself that extra little push to challenge your balance. Okay, shake that out. And we are done with the strength part of it. So grab your chair and let's do some nice, relaxing, feel good stretches. So sitting up nice and tall towards the front of your chair, one leg out and heel is down, toe pointing up. You are leaning forward, hinging at the hips, head, neck, and spine in good alignment. You're looking at the floor about 3 or 4 feet ahead of you. Making sure that knee isn't locked. Bring the toe up more towards your shin. So the first part of it, you should have felt it in your hamstring. Now bring that toe up more towards your shin. You should be feeling it more so in your calf, your gastrocnemius. Okay, shake that out a little bit. Extend the other leg, heel down, toe pointing up, hinging forward. If you are leaning on a leg for support, is that bent one rather than the extended one. Bring the toe up more. Feel that stretch more so in your calf. Okay, shaking that out. Just going to turn the angle of my chair a little bit here. And let's go for the hip flexor stretch. So one butt cheek on the front of my chair, the other one is off of the front, and I'm taking the one leg back as far as I can comfortably and stretching out the hip flexor and quad area. So sitting up nice and tall, core is still engaged. You can hang on to the chair for support if you need. If you're leaning forward, you're not going to feel much of a stretch. You need to be sitting up nice and tall. If you want to feel that stretch a little bit deeper, you can lean back slightly. And remember, when you are stretching, it's okay to feel a good pull or even slight discomfort, but if you are feeling pain, then that means you've gone too far and you need to let up a little bit. So this is a really nice one for opening up those hips, loosening them if you do a lot of sitting during the day. Okay, flipping around to the other side. Same idea, one butt cheek on, one off. You are taking that one leg back as far as you can comfortably, and it will vary from person to person, so kind of practice and feel what works best for you. Sitting up nice and tall, if you want, you can lean that back a little bit. All right, that is one of my favorite, and here's another one of my favorites. So if you can take that leg straight across and plant it up onto your thigh, or if you can't do that one, if that doesn't quite work for you, you could even just cross there, maybe use that one leg as a ramp and slide it up. If that doesn't work for you, then even just in this position is good. For me, I'm gonna go for this one, because this is what I need to do to be able to feel the stretch. This is where I'm feeling it. And hinging forward at the hip, making sure, hips I should say, making sure you're still in that good alignment, head, neck, spine, and feeling a good stretch there. To feel it a little bit more intense, you can give a gentle press on the inside of your knee. Like I said, this is one of my favorites. I really like it. If you have a favorite stretch or a favorite exercise that you like, and you haven't seen us do it, feel free to write it in the comments and make a suggestion, and maybe it's something that we can incorporate into one of our classes. So feel free to let us know. Okay, shake that out, switch legs. Again, you're starting out with that good posture, core is engaged, pivoting at the hips, or hinging at the hips. Keeping that good alignment. Gentle press on the inside of your knee if you like. So because we are leaning forward slightly, you don't want to be looking straight up. I realize that if you're trying to watch the video, you might be looking straight up, but normally you would want to be looking about 3 or 4 feet on the floor if you're going to be hinging forward for a little bit here, depending on the angle. If you're not hinging forward, then totally fine to be looking straight ahead. Okay, shake that out. Kind of starting to ramble, time to move on. let's go for, and I'm going to move back a little bit so I'm not right in your face. There we go. Let's go for a shoulder stretch. So taking that over to the side and thinking about it, I'm going to ditch the chair because I'm going to switch it up a little bit. Here we go, thinking on the spot again. Okay, so feet shoulder, wider than shoulder width apart this time around. Nice wide stance, toes are pointing forward. Bring one arm across for the shoulder stretch. Thumb underneath, grab on, pull it in closer. You can rotate that hand, take the legs to the side so that you are feeling a stretch in that adductor muscle, which is probably a good thing with those side to side squats that we did. You might be needing an extra stretch in there. So this area here is where you're feeling, and in here, shoulder and adductor muscle. Reverse with the hand. Shake that out. Bring the other arm across. Pull it in closer towards you. Take the legs to the other side. Rotate with that hand. Keep the shoulders relaxed. So feeling a nice stretch in the adductor area, the inside of your thigh, and your shoulder area. Reverse direction with the hand if you haven't already. And let's just shake that out. Okay, going for oblique stretch. Reaching up and slightly diagonal. Give a gentle pull. So we are stretching out the obliques without curving or compromising that spine. Should feel good. If it's not feeling good, then you've gone too far with these stretches. Okay, make sure that they're always feeling good. Like I said, you can feel that slight pull, maybe even a slight discomfort, but it should never hurt. Okay, for this tricep one, you're reaching down between your shoulder blades, gentle press on your elbow or in the triceps area. This is where you want to feel that stretch. If you have shoulder issues and that's not feeling so good, feel free to take it over to the other side. Shaking that out, other arm up and over. And reach down between your shoulder blades. And I do realize I am going slightly over today, but that's because I started slightly late, so I'm going to try and give you your 1 hour class. A few more minutes, we'll be all stretched out and feeling good. Continue on our day. Okay, take the arms out. Nice big open chest stretch. Bring those arms down a little bit. Your thumbs are up. Rotate them around. Press the shoulders back. Feel that stretch more in your biceps. Rotate the thumbs up again. Bend the hands back at the wrist. Rotate around again. Press those shoulders back. Feeling the stretch more in your forearm, which is a good thing since we worked out those forearms doing that wrist flexion and extension. Okay, feel that nice stretch in your forearms. Okay, shaking that out. Nice big shoulder rolls backwards. Keeping the shoulders level, take one ear down to your shoulder, opposite arm reaching towards the floor. Head back up to center, other ear to your shoulder, opposite arm reaching towards the floor. And head up to center again, finishing off with 3 cleansing breaths, 3 deep breaths. Take a deep breath in. You're inhaling through our nose, exhale through the mouth. All right, so take a deep breath in. And exhale. Deep breath in. And exhale. Deep breath in one last time. Stretch it up as high as you can. And we are done. Great work, I'm sure, everybody. And thank you very much for joining today. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment in the bottom here at any time, or to contact us at Market Mall, email, or a phone call, whatever you like. And yeah, thanks again for joining. I hope you enjoyed the class, and we will catch you again another time. Take care, everyone.